January of 2004, the Department of Homeland Security contacted Steve Simpson and the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, inviting them to participate in the ICE program. According to the Loudoun Times-Mirror, as of last summer, that invite had gone unanswered. As I continued to campaign, as of January this year, when I resigned from the Sheriff's Office, I immediately brought my intentions to bring Immigration Customs Enforcement to the Sheriff's Office. At that time, Mr. Simpson continued to deny the need for this training for our officers, despite the fact that people were dying on our roads who had been stopped previously numerous times by Loudoun County Sheriff's Office and other surrounding agencies. Finally, on May 1st of this year, Mr. Simpson, sticking his finger to the political winds, realized that he was on the losing side of this issue and agreed to take on this training, just 5 weeks before the largest Republican convention in state history. I'm pleased to be the Republican nominee, but it doesn't stop there. I believe this issue is about integrity, and I believe this race is about the issues. Thank you. It's a good question, and it is the issue in this race, and I don't know that we can quantify and really put a number on the amount of problems that are caused by illegal immigrants. Clearly, as the federal government themselves has stated, I believe 12 million illegal immigrants, some people say 20 million, that's quite a large gap. So I don't expect Loudoun County Sheriff's Office or anybody in Loudoun County to have the intelligence to tell us how many are here. Clearly, we've seen a move and change. I've seen it firsthand from working on the streets of Sterling Park since 1997 and how the demographics have changed. I know that many of the people that I arrested initially who had no identification, couldn't speak any English, I'm just going to guess that they might have been here illegally because at the time we chose not to participate in ICE. Those people lived in Herndon at the time. Now, many of the same people live in Sterling. So I think there is a correlation between the two. Trying to say that crime statistics have gone down, you know, seeing that written on a piece of paper doesn't really make the single mother feel much safer as she goes out to buy groceries late at night and there's a lot of people hanging out at different bars or at Pepe's where we've had continuous problems. A place like that clearly needs attention from the Sheriff's Office and probably needs to be shut down.
I do think it's wrong to assume that, like some people do, that everyone who is in Sterling that's Hispanic is, first of all, illegal and second of all, they're gang members, because that's just not true. In Loudoun County, we, from our gang unit, the people we deal with, only one in about 20 people that we deal with that are in gangs are illegal. So we have to be very careful when we start pointing a finger and saying, making those comments that some people are very quick to make during a political campaign.
People in Western Loudoun may not be concerned about illegal immigration, but you said that the rise in the gang activity is going to increase the jail space. I believe there's probably a correlation between the two. And so I think that should be a concern for people in Western Loudoun, not just Eastern Loudoun. And I think there's several ways to deal with this. And one of them is, quite honestly, through the ICE program. Speaking with Warren Guerin just a couple weeks ago, school board in Sterling, he said that some schools in Sterling, 64% English is not the language spoken in the home. 4,000 students are in English as a second language as part of their curriculum. 4,000, almost 10% of our students. Am I going to sit up here and say that all those people are illegal immigrants? Certainly not. But could 100 of them be illegal immigrants that shouldn't be in this county? 100 of them would be $1.4 million taxpayer savings. There's what we spend to house the inmates. There's no vision, either at the Board of Supervisors level or the Sheriff's level, to resolve these kind of problems.
You talked about 4,000 students, you talked to Warren Guerin. You made the assumption, it seemed to me, please correct me if I'm wrong, that perhaps this large percentage of people that speak a different language, that's part of the reason why we're having this criminal element. I think that's somewhat of a stretch. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry if you perceived that, but I think that the point is there's 4,000, almost 10% of our students that speak a language that is not English as the first language, which we are educating. And Warren Guerin basically stated at that meeting I was at,
what does that have to do with the jail issue?
I think it has. I think it has.
If I speak Farsi, am I from Iran? Then I'm a potential problem.
They're not speaking Farsi.
I'm not saying that. There is a correlation between the two. If you're going to look at solving the problems as isolated and not connecting some of these things together, then we're doing law enforcement the same way we did 30 years ago, and we need to look at things in a new light and a new way of dealing with things.
Well, I actually think it was a mistake to close the day labor site in Herndon. That was a place where everyone came to work. Now, was there illegals there? I don't know. Did they check? I know they didn't check. But it gave a central location for people to find stuff to work, and the only thing they were guilty of was wanting to work.
I guess I differ from both of my opponents in that I think the closing was a good thing. I don't think it sends the right message. It's one thing if you want to do something with your own dollars and a private industry wants to provide that site. That's something that the government doesn't have any involvement in. But when you're talking about a facility like Herndon's or Loudoun County to have our tax dollars spent on some work site that would intentionally not have the will to check whether they're providing services for illegal immigrants clearly sends the wrong message about what we're all about. I can tell you that my personal faith in Jesus Christ, for whatever it means to the media, is more important to me than winning this election. And I consider it something that guides me in how I treat my wife and how I treat my family. And I also consider something that how I treat my fellow coworkers. And if, you know, having morality and having a relationship with God is a negative thing, then hopefully I don't get elected, honestly, because that's something that's very important to me.
Well, there is the Constitution that says there should be a separation between church and state.
What page is that on?
Yeah, what stage is that on?
I have no idea, but I've read the Constitution.
You have to show that to me when we're done.
Well, do we vote it now?
No, just keep it down.
Okay.
The second thing is, there's also in the Constitution about religious freedom. I am a Christian, I believe in God, but I don't believe that you should enforce any religious belief on anybody else, you know, because that's their right to have their own choosing, whether they be atheists, Muslims, Jews, Christians, Catholics. We need to embrace everybody. If we don't embrace everybody, we lose our whole community and we lose the base of society.
While my opponents want to make it about experience, I clearly am not going to be the first one to say that I have the most experience in our education. But I'm inspired by people like Ronald Reagan, who in 1966, despite no experience in government or management, he had a two-term incumbent for the California governor's race by more than 1 million votes. And how he did that was throughout his career, he surrounded himself with good people. And you can't put a price on that. Finally, I think you need to vote for the person, and the person you think has the intent, the will, and the integrity. Integrity.
Vision, integrity. Vision, vision, vision. Vision, vision. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Integrity, vision, integrity, vision, integrity. Integrity.